Yo. This is another episode of Oshin's View. I am Oshin. And making a rare appearance, 79% GD Fitz. He's in the building tonight.
Why I gotta be 79%, man? I've been doing decent. I've been at least 85 the last couple of times.
Yeah, but you haven't been there for a second, so that drops the percentage down a little bit because you ain't shooting up shots.
I live with that.
And Willie Negro in this rare seat across from me.
What up?
You know, he normally been where Fitz is, but you know, that's just Fitz. He can't do nothing else, so we gotta put him on the boards. Or whatever. So
petty, man. That's petty, man.
Barely want this nigga to talk, so it's just like, yo.
Jesus Christ. I'll get done.
So I'm driving here, thinking of son, hold up, sending me too. Keep me centered.
Okay.
You know, keep me centered, whatever, because you know, when we do our reels and stuff, I like to keep it there. So I'm driving in and I start thinking to myself, I'm not a good dater. Actually, I don't even know how to date. And here I am at my ripe age now. It really dawned on me just literally about 2 hours ago. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to date. So I called a homegirl of mine. So she was like, what do you mean? So I was like, no. I said, I think I don't go on a lot of dates that I plan or try to plan because I've been doing the same type dates for like 20 some odd years. Like, I don't believe I've ever surprised a woman with a date with something that they didn't think could be done. For example, I'm a movie and dinner guy. I'm a let's go to dinner guy. I'm a let's go to the club, let's dance. I'm a let's go to a lounge, which leads to a couple of drinks or so, and then dance. After that, I'm kind of tapped out. And I really started sitting back thinking like, dang, am I the only one that suffers from this? Because women, they know how to date. Now, I'm not going to give every single woman the pass because I'm pretty sure some women, it's a whole lot of women that they're cut off I don't care what we do, we can do anything. And they cool with that. But then there's another group of women that are like, no, you need to plan it from beginning to end. But then there's also another group of women that'll be like, okay, I know how to date. I have some suggestions on things we can do or whatever. And I'm basically my wife's gonna have to start taking the lead on a lot of these things because I'm a terrible dater. Now that's like I'm feeling like Usher, like that's my confession. Like I had to realize I do not know how to date. And I'm looking like, I don't know why it came over me, but it just stuck out to me. Is anything, because we know, you know, you're Christopher and you light-skinned niggas can do everything. Like, is it something that you figured out maybe now or recently or years ago that you're not as you're a little inadequate in this way? Is anything like that for you?
First of all, I don't know how to date either. It's bad. It's bad. My wife talks about it often. She hates it. And you know, it's the same thing. She wants me to take the lead, plan it from beginning to end, all this stuff. But I'm so low maintenance and I'm not a mind reader. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, whatever you want to do, like we can do it. But that's not sufficient for her. You know what I mean? Like, it means more if it comes from me. And I'm horrible. It's something that I'm conscious of. I'm just bad at it. You know what I mean? I try to compensate for it by going on vacations and stuff like that.
Oh, yes, that's
it. But you know, but it don't work. Like I gotta get better at that. It's something I gotta get better at.
No, hold on. Wait a minute. Nah. We're not gonna gloss over that. I done seen you go to Paris. Y'all family done went some places. That better be doing something like, yo, because I know a whole bunch of people that are great daters, but they ain't been in no damn Paris. They ain't been to Honolulu and all that. So don't think that's not compensating the right way. Because to me, that's above and beyond. Like, yo, I get what she's saying, and I love her to death. But nah, that's if somebody's an admitted terrible data, but they are taking you to Turks and Caicos, Paris, and all these exquisite places. Oh yeah, they great travelers. Maybe a poor data, great traveler.
Yeah, but that's still like once, maybe twice a year. You know what I mean? So, but on a weekly, monthly basis, I do got to get better at planning things for us to do, just having some time, me and her. You know what I mean? Because it's important to the relationship, and I know it's something that she likes and she wants, and I'm not good at it. So I relate to you on that. But I think the biggest thing that I'm cognizant of that I realized, especially in my relationship, is I can be very dismissive of things. Like I have this thing where, I work with kids, right? So I'm very forgiving, like with children and even young people, like because I consider people in their early 20s as kids as well. You know what I mean? But adults, I'm very dismissive. And I got this thing where if it feel like it's bullshit to me, like my brain cut off, like I'm not listening to it. And that happens in every relationship that I have. You see what I'm saying? Like when I'm talking to people, as soon as it get to that, oh no, this shit is stupid to me, I cut off. Like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? And sometimes I don't realize that I'm doing that like in my relationship because let's just be real. Women come to us with all kinds of bullshit. It be like bullshit. Like you don't want to hear what happened at work every day. You don't want to hear what this girl said to this girl. Sometimes you don't want to hear what happened on the reality shows. And I'll be just like cutting off, like whatever. Like, all right, cool. Like what? All right, yeah, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? I can't, like, so now I'm cognizant of it, and I'll be trying to, it's tough. I'll be trying to, like, listen and be present in those conversations, but, I'll be, like, really dismissive of shit. Like, nah, that's trash. I'm not listening to this.
Yeah. This is your chance to make it to 85%. Since you want some percentage.
So, look. I'm in agreement with both of you guys. I think I'm a terrible dater as well because I know myself. I don't like going out a lot. I don't. I'm an introvert. I like staying in the house. I'd rather stay in the house and watch a movie instead of going out. But I like what Will was just saying about you got to take your wife out once a week, once a month, something of that nature. And that was something that I hated doing at first because it was so easy. We just go hang out real quick and go in the house and do what we do. Yeah. But now once you get older, you gotta go out. You gotta do that. And then by having daughters, I don't want a guy to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna just take you out and then we're gonna go back to the spot and go do what we do. No, you gotta really have a guy show you how you supposed to be wined and dined. So I go out a lot with the girls, and then when I take my wife out, it's still the same thing. So I've developed how to go out and actually date, because I was terrible at it. I was definitely terrible at it.
No, it's definitely something that you're gonna have to learn. And okay, but besides that, I'm a person also. I love inclement weather because for one, it gives me a chance to catch up with shows I want to see and movies or anything like that. But in my vast experience with women, when I've stayed in the house with them in inclement weather, the consensus is that I'm pretty fun. So we're not even talking about sex. Yeah. I'm just talking about having a good time. See, I'm silly. Like I'm like this. I don't know if you ever saw what was Best Man. Best Man Holiday was the other joint, but Best Man 2 or whatever, when I guess the wedding. And they did the Can You Stand the Rain part. Yeah. I'll do shit like that on my own, right in front of somebody. Quick little story, quick little gem. It was a young lady that I was dealing with. She had a very nice house, and I'm not talking about some decent, like it was nice. Like it was so nice, I had to compose myself, like this is some nice shit or whatever. So it snowed bad, and we were on the phone for about 2 or 3 hours before the snow really started picking up. And she was like, I wish you could come over here. So I was like, oh, that's all I needed to hear. So I shot out there. It's probably about 55 minutes from where we're at right now. So I shoot out there. I tell her to go to that little grocery store around the corner from her, grab some breakfast stuff, and grab this, that, and the third, because we probably going to be snowed in, because the snow was just starting, and it was saying it was like 10 inches, and everything was going to come. Pause. So that's when,
Thank you for the pause.
so we get out there, and, you know, we doing what we do. That's all. Y'all audience know what we mean when we say we do what we do. But we in the house. I don't know why she had water guns. I guess her little cousin's son. Man, we in the house. I'm squirting her with the water guns. You know what I'm saying? We playing games. We talking about stuff, looking at series. We playing hide and seek in the house. Of course, it's but so many places, but you know, trying to make it fun, doing stuff. So after maybe 3 or 4 days of that, you know, things were on repeat. But now I'm getting a little cabin fever. I want to go home now. I'm not being held against my will enough, and it's just, you know, guys, we just naturally, after some point, I want to go home. I want to do this, that, and the third. So we go outside. I had to shovel out her cars and mine. She had 2 cars. She had a truck. She had a car, both Benzes or whatever. So I shoveled out all 3 cars. She comes out with some hot chocolate. I didn't even ask for hot chocolate. I didn't even remember, like, I'm not even a huge hot chocolate drinker. So she brought it out. So I'm drinking and stuff. So I was like, you know, thank you. I pick up some snow. I throw it at her. That shit turns into a bum-ass rendition of Let It Snow. You know what I'm saying? All you can hear is that in the background. Let it snow. I'm slamming on the ground and stuff. We're in the snow. So after I wound up doing that, I wound up taking a shower while I leave. She calls me up later that night and was like, yo, I had a great time. Nobody's ever done that with me. Now, back in my mind, I'm like, I do this kind of silly shit all the time. Right. But she was like, nah. And she was somebody that was well-to-do, you know what I'm saying, financially. So she definitely wasn't with me for money. Like, that's definitely wasn't her goal. And I used to be like, well, why don't you mess with one of them dudes at your job? She thought niggas is corny or whatever. And I was just like, hey, I guess that's the trade-off. But I said, well, at some point, you know I'm going to make money. And we laughed about it or whatever. But I say all that to say, it's like, yo, you got to learn how to entertain yourself. See, I know how to entertain myself, so I think I more so can entertain other people because I'll turn people into an audience real quick. Yeah. And then once I turn them into an audience, they're a part of whatever I got going on, and we move on from there. So, you know, I may be a terrible dater, but, you know, it picks up, you know, right after that.
Yeah. So, Greg, you said something that was interesting because I have a daughter too. You said that you don't want your daughter to be dating somebody that's just going, you know, hang out with her, then take her back to the crib and do whatever. But you that type of guy.
No, I'm not.
But you said you were an introvert.
That's what I was. That's what I was.
But my thing is this. You said you're an introvert. Mm-hmm. You don't really like going out like that. You know what I mean? So what would be wrong with her dating a guy that's like you, that just don't really want to do that?
Now, it's kind of funny, right?
Is good.
It's kind of funny because my oldest daughter that's in college, the guy she's dating right now is like me. He don't want to go nowhere. He just want to be underneath his woman, which is my daughter. And I respect him because he's a cool guy, real intelligent guy. But I'm also a dad. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I know what you're going to do, man. I know what you're getting ready to do because this is what I was doing. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that because they're adults. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's good because you're a homebody and you want to stay loyal and just stay in with your woman. I get that. But I had to learn because my wife likes going out. Yeah. She want to go out. She want to go eat. She want to go dance. Cool. I used to go in the club all the time. But that's when I was out trying to, you know, hang out and do my thing. Yeah. But once you in a relationship, I'm like, I'm good. I just stay right here. I'm home. I already got what I want. But you got to keep them the same way that you got them. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of
that's 100% true. But the whole thing is, and I'm glad you ended it with you got to keep them the same way you got them because you was kind of doing the Park Heights struts before it became a thing. Yes, I peeped you one day. Yes. I'm telling you. Yes, I wanted to put that out there. I'm telling you. I watched. I remember. Yo, listen, Baltimore, do not. Hold up, Baltimore, do not kill me. I never said my man Fitz invented it because you know niggas are stretching. Yeah. What I'm saying is this. before it became a thing, first off, it already was a thing. But before like social media got a hold of it and those kids that was doing whatever, I guess Bunky Strut or whatever his name is, no disrespect to him. But one day we was in the gym and he was talking about he was going out later that night. And I was just like, all right, you know, whatever. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna go dance with the missus and everything. And I promise you, right here in the God, he did the joint. And first off, I didn't know it was no name for it at the time. Yeah. Maybe he knew it already, but he did the move, and I was like, oh. In my mind, I was like, well, that was kind of smooth. I ain't going front. I was like, I didn't expect him to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be honest, like, I didn't expect that move to come out of him. But you know, it was smooth. I was like, it was one of those. Damn, that should look smooth. Do it again, because I kind of want to copy it. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna ask him. And then, no lie, I promise you, 3 months later, 5 in the morning, and I swear, this is the first time I'm saying it. When I first saw it, I was like, that's the shit Greg was doing. But this was before it was a thing. Yeah. So I got to give you your props on that one.
Yeah, we were club hopping, man, when we was at Morgan. So, you know, that's where we started it at. That's kind of funny. That's funny. Now I should be up at 90% just because I showed you something that everybody.
You know what? Have. I'm on. While we here, you gonna get 90. You're right. You get 90%.
Thank you.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Well, since we on first, and I wanted to say this, I'm gonna go live with this too. They talking about the Harlem Shake and stuff. The Al B. I brought the Al B to Morgan. Nobody was doing that joint till I was doing it. This is a fact. 1995. This is before Morgan State campus even know who Mace is. I know who Mace is because he's my friend, but he ain't on yet. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. A lot of people didn't start looking at, because I'll be out doing it. Oh, that's the Mace dance. I'm like, you know what's funny with that? Shout out to Mace. Shout out to my man Killer. Yo, you ain't never heard Mace say that's my dance. He would, you know what I'm saying? Because he would never say that because he knows where he got it from. Or whatever. That's just another side tidbit. But you had an interesting post that you didn't talk about. And hold up, because I don't want to butcher it. You said, and I quote, here we go. I make $180,000 and my girl makes $40,000. Our rent is $3,000 a month. How much of the rent should she pay?
Oh, yeah, I got that from my wife. She was reading something on the internet, and she posed that question to me, and I was, and I posed it back to her. You know what I mean? I'm like, how much you think, like, he should pay? You know what I mean? And she said, I think he should just pay it all. You know what I mean? And I kind of agree. Man, they getting somebody.
Yeah, they coming out there today.
Oh no, that's a fire.
That's a fire, but that's just probably they doing all that. They doing all that. Nothing.
But my thing is, I kind of agree with her. You know what I mean? He make 180. She make 40, which is reasonable. You know what I mean? Like that's what people you work for down at the social state building, social building or something. You starting off in the 40s. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
He made 180. Rent is 3,000. Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with paying it all.
Hold up. Normally, you know, we try to get differences of opinions and stuff. So this is my curveball for that. Mm-hmm. It's not a curveball to say I don't agree. I make 180,000. Mm-hmm. She makes 40,000. Mm-hmm. We ain't paying rent. That should have been the part. That's the underlying part. I know it's a caveat. I know, just we ain't paying rent. That's a mortgage.
All right. What if the mortgage is 3,000? How much you pay?
Well, first of all, the mortgage is not going to be 3,000. But what you call it, you would have to get a ridiculous house for that because you're not going to. I'm not paying. I'm never paying $3,000. If I ever pay a $3,000 mortgage, my house is going to be stupendous. But
not really. The average going rate for a house right now is $400,000.
Yeah, but it's still
$400,000 is around $3,000 mortgage.
Yeah, but the whole thing is this. It isn't to buy a house of a certain amount, it's always triple your salary.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
But I mean, if you want any type of decent like house right now, you gonna pay $400,000 for it, especially around here. You know what I mean? That's just what the market is right now.
Okay, bet.
And you gonna pay $3,000 a month for that mortgage.
Maybe 25. But regardless.
You
25,
know what I mean?
because you add property tax and all that stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
Fine. We're paying the mortgage. Yeah, I'm definitely paying the whole thing. Because first off, I'm the safety net. That's just how it goes.
Right.
And I'm being the safety net because I make 180, so that means I'm probably clearing, depending on what kind of other dependents and things, I'm probably clearing, let's make it an even buck, or you know what I'm saying, a year. That's what I'm at least clearing after taxes. After taxes. Yeah. I'm probably clearing about that. So between 95 and 100. So you clearing that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more.
Okay, bet, cool.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more.
Probably a little more. But I say all that to say, I'm still the safety net.
So here's my question.
Go ahead.
Is she paying any bills in the house?
Yes. She'll pay cable, gas and electric, water, whatever else small miscellaneous type things. And this is the reason why that's important. And we've talked about this before, but not as much depth. That's 50-50. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that 50-50 is this. My part, just because I'm paying more than you, doesn't, you know what I'm saying, shit on what you're doing. Because that's your 50% of what we're doing. Because my half is this. This is what I signed up for. It doesn't minimize because I'm paying $3,000 a month for this mortgage or rent or whatever you want to do, and you might be paying $1,500. Let's just make it even $1,500 in miscellaneous bills that include, gas, water, food, and all this other stuff. Cool. I'm not looking at you no less than because that's what you're paying. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's a lot of problems when it comes to relationships because people get caught up with, I'm paying this. I'm more important than you because I'm paying more. And I think that's always going to be an issue in relationships. That's why a lot of times when the guy, and I tell women this too, and I hate to pick on women this way, because when the guy is up that way and he can pay for everything, he'll do it. But now if you're a sucker and you always throwing that in your woman's face, that's just a sucker. But most dudes that I know that are stand-up dudes, they paying stuff like that. They ain't bringing it up. Even in the midst of arguments, they ain't bringing it up.
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
So you saying like she should pay like the miscellaneous, like the gas and electric and cable and stuff like that. Is there any situation in which she doesn't pay any of the household bills and you just take care of all of them?
That's a two-part answer for me. For one, there is a part, I'm going to answer it backwards. There is a part where, because if that 180 is really 280, which it don't really matter, because 180 he can probably still pay all, no problem, he can pay all the bills anyway. So it really make a difference. It's not about who's paying everything. It's the reason why I want her paying those things. You know why I want her to pay those things? Because she's going to feel invested in it because she has a part of it. I'm doing that to keep you invested in the household because I don't ever want you to ever think that it's only my way or the highway and whatever I say, that's the final word. That's why I stress the 50-50 doesn't mean equally yoked by the numbers. It just means this is the 50% of your responsibilities. This is my 50% of the responsibilities, regardless of who can do it. The reason why I keep saying that is because this is a metaphor, and this really happened. LL Cool J's song, Doing It, that joint. The girl that's in the video, that's not the girl that's rapping. That's not the girl that's rapping. You know that, I know that. But if other people didn't know it, LL had beef with that person that was rapping because she wasn't in the video. He paid her She got her money. Their beef wasn't financial. Their beef was nothing with the labels or nothing. Her beef was, why didn't you put me in the video? And you know, LL said it. He said, yo, I've been around a lot of women. He said, you were out of shape. You weren't doing X, Y, Z. You weren't taking care of yourself physically. And he said, if I would have put you on that camera, you would have wondered, why would he put me in front of this camera looking like this? And it was deeper than, she had some other stuff going on. It was deeper than just, oh, well, you know, we can fix my makeup. I guess it was some other stuff. And a lot of it at the time, I guess it was weight. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't think LL is a body shamer, but we can't pretend that, you know, it's always a thing with larger women, larger men, whatever like that. Weight is a real thing. So when,
especially then, it was
especially back then, exactly. Right now, he'll get body shamed for that, because if that's Lizzo doing the verse, she's going to want to be in the video, and she's going to wear scantily things, and she's going to get applauded and everything. But for that time frame, LL was like, you would have been pissed at me for that. So I'd have been rather you be pissed at me for not putting you in a video than that. That's the same way I feel about the relationship. I don't want you feeling like none of the bills. No, this is our house. You feel good about yourself because you bring things to the table. And my job as the man is to, you know, we men, we gotta exaggerate things at times. I'm pretty sure women gotta exaggerate things too. It's times we hitting it. We ain't always knocking it out the park. And they probably making us feel good about it. We probably not even out having one of our best performances. Oh, you like it? Man, them chicks is faking like I don't know what. But they do that. They do that because they know it makes us feel good.
So you feel she has to be contributing monetarily to be invested in the relationship, the house, that thing. So what you're saying is, it is not a scenario in which you think that you should pay everything. You think in a relationship she should pay something.
If it's only if it's possible that she can pay. I'm not gonna if she's not working and things is not going that way, then of course by all means I'll pay all the bills. Matter of fact, this is enough. I'm glad you brought that up. That was a good way to question it. I mean, to lay it out there. This is what I would probably do if she's not working. She's already taking care of the house. She's taking care of the kids. She's making it a home or whatever. So guess what I'm gonna do? I know what the bills are per month and everything else. I'm gonna give her the money. Give her the responsibility to pay everything. All she gotta do is write the checks. Now it sounds easy, but it's like, yo, that's still a job within itself. Yo, babe, look here, I'm real busy. I don't got time to do X, Y, Z. You can do it. We can do it. Nah, I want you to do this because this is how you help me out with this. Because, excuse me, this is what one of our jobs as men to do. We have to make them feel protected and underneath that umbrella. So it's like, yo, once again, it's the fake out. We know we can pay the bills. Come on, everything now is done on the phones. Every Friday I do the same thing. That's all I do. And you watch your account go from here, or it look good when it come in. Yo, my gross be looking lit. My net be looking cool. It be looking cool for the lifestyle I have now. So I'm not going to be unappreciative. But sometimes you sit there like, damn, if only this net could be that gross or whatever. And this is what we do. So if she's not paying all the bills, let her pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Women have to feel invested in it. And sometimes if they can't find their way into feeling invested in it, it's our job to like kind of give them some guidance towards that way. I keep telling you, and I never call the chicks the B word, but they need guidance. And if you're not the dude to give them the guidance, it's going to be a shit.
I get it, and I agree to a certain extent, but I just think that there is a scenario in which I can pay all of the bills. You know what I mean? So, for example, I know for a fact, I pay majority of the bills now, but if I made a little bit more, my wife wouldn't have to pay any bills. None. And I think that she'd be all right. You know what I mean? I think that she's invested enough in the relationship in which it wouldn't change anything. Knowing her, she would probably want to pay something, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't be mandatory for me. I wouldn't make it. I'm just that type of person. Like if I can, I will. Like
Yes.
if I can, you don't got to pay nothing, and you can work. I don't care. You know what I mean?
This is my thing. You just open up the door for that. You just open up the door for that. Thank you. See, this is why he loses points. And he don't get it. This is why. But anyway, what you call it? This is why it's individualized. It's individualized towards the woman you have too.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of statements I made were general, but it's not a contrast because you said, well, my wife will not do it. That's how I feel too. I can pay everything, fine. My wife ain't got to do nothing, and you can work. But in terms of people have different mindsets on what makes them feel good. I've been watching, you know what's a real good show? What? And it's not on anymore, My Wife and Kids. Because that's pretty much what you said with the joint. Yo, he's Damon Wayans' character, Michael Kyle or whatever, own his own trucking business and everything. They live in a 4,000 square foot house and all that. Like it's crazy and all that. And it's always an episode where his wife, Tisha Campbell's, Janet Kyle, is like, I need something to do. I need this. I need something of my own. You got the business. The kids got that. So I think that's where a lot of my mindset was coming with. And that be his job on the joint. Be like, all right, Jay, do this. Well, I'm going to support you with this because you're not worried about the house crumbling.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're not worried about if it's going to be an eviction notice ever on the front door and things like that.
Right.
That's all taken care of. So now that everything's taken care of monetarily, what do you have left? And a lot of women, and I'm sorry to say, a lot of women don't be having hobbies and things they want to do.
Right.
A lot of women, I don't mean all, because I don't want women looking at this saying, because they're quick to say all of them. I got a hobby. Yeah, I got stuff to do. And you be like what? I'm just saying I do stuff.
A lot of women.
You know what I'm saying? Women don't be doing nothing. A lot of them, they don't know what to do with their idle time or nothing. That's why women will go out with other women to eat. Guys ain't going out with other guys to eat. If we going out to eat together, it's some business on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's somebody's birth. Yo, I ain't gonna front. I'm a little iffy on them birthday dinners for guys too. I don't really
dinners
the guys, all guys. Like, hey fellas, let's go grab something to eat. Like it's just all the fellas. Yeah. Okay, now this is where the asterisk come in for me. So what are we doing after that? Oh, nah, we just going. I don't know. We going. No. It better be a strip club involved. It better be a club involved. That can't be the highlight of the night, the dinner. Unless, there's times, unless you're catching up with people that you haven't seen in years.
Right.
And then it's like, now we're all at the table like, yo, remember this? Now I can see that. And there's nothing Gary Apple yellow about it. All I'm saying is, guys don't normally call up other guys and say, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. It's not happening.
I've been hanging out and niggas be like, yo, y'all hungry? Let's go down to such and such. That shit is slamming. Like, you know what I mean? So I've gone out with the fellas to eat. I don't know that I've ever called somebody like, hey man, let's go down to
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yo, you got y'all niggas hungry? And you know what the y'all niggas hungry is? We've been out for a few hours already. I'm hungry, so I'm just looking like, damn, I ain't gonna break the groove up. Damn, I'm the only one that's hungry. Y'all niggas don't wanna go get something? And it gotta be like that. But to plan, like, hey, Chris, what are you doing tomorrow? Nothing. Yeah, I figured, me, you, and a couple of other fellas, let's go grab a bite to eat. See, Greg is gonna be like, nah, I'm good. I've been eating here. Like, don't ever call me talking about let's go. First off, don't call me saying.
Know, man. It might be lit though. Like, yo, let's go down to the restaurant to eat. Like, I don't know. I don't think nothing wrong with it.
Don't call me talking about your Oshin. I was thinking the fellas should get together and get a bite to eat. Click. That short is hanging up. I don't like the sentence structure. I don't want to hear. It's not happening. It's not happening.
So hold on. So
Yes.
let's say y'all all out and we all hooping, right? Everybody hooping. And it's like 12 guys.
Okay.
And we like, yo, let's all go to Moe's. Like literally just out of nowhere, be like, yo, let's go to Moe's. Is that a
I
problem?
don't think he talking about that. I think he's talking about. I think he talking about. I'm at the crib, and he like, and then I just hit you like, yo, I'm hungry.
Oh no, you can't. Yeah, you can't ask that question. You can't.
Let's go to Moe's. I'm gonna hit O, and see if he want to go too. You know what I mean? Like that's a little. I don't know, man.
I know because I
think men should do that more. I do. I think men should hang out like that more. Like women do that all the time. Men hang out in the crib like, yo, about to come through. You know what I mean? And kick it.
See, you have the verbiage down pack. It's the follow through that I'm iffy on. Once again, football season is not just limited to that. Sports season, yo, come through. But the come through for basketball is a little different than the come through for football. Because that's why, I'm sorry, a football game, which is, that's what I partake in heavily.
Football's an event.
Exactly. It's way more than a basketball game. Yeah, because that's why
like a game.
That's why they make
like a playoff game
or just a regular game because all the stadiums and stuff I've been to and everything, that's why games are only on a Sunday.
Yeah,
and when you go in town for that Friday, that whole weekend is dedicated to that game. Basketball, you got that night, that team is gone to an hour and a half after the game. They float on a plane already. So I say all that to say, don't call me talking about, you can say, yo, Chief's about to pay such and such. Yeah, come through. Greg and them is already over here. You can do that. Yo, you want me to bring something? Yeah. Bring the beers, bring the such and such, whatever like that. We down on this. That's all cool. That ain't a bite though. Mm-hmm. When you're calling me talking about, hey man, I was just thinking, we need to get up and get a bite. I'm going right back to looking at TV. Like, God. I am not to get a bite.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. I don't think it's that. It's a little weird. But I don't know, man. I don't think it's nothing wrong with it, man. Like, get the fellas together, go down to the restaurant and fellowship.
And I think like what Will's saying about fellowship and is nothing wrong. We do need to do that, especially in the black community. We need to actually link up more often because we got a lot of other shit that's going on. Health, mental health, and just out there. You just got to get out there with your brother sometime. Now, I got to ask this question because I'm trying to get some clarity on it because this same thing was posed to us a couple weeks ago after the basketball season was over. They asked us, it was referees, a couple referees. They said, this was the next day, Tuesday. We had the same refs on Tuesday. They came back on Tuesday and they said, y'all want to go to Moe's. So they asking now, and they were calling the other guys, was like, we all want to go to Moe's, y'all want to go to Moe's. So it was like a fellas gathering at Moe's the next day. Mm-hmm. I was cool with it. I'm like, we just going to go hang out at Moe's. But it feels different when you in a certain atmosphere, like a sports event, right, or like you already were together and then you planned it out the next day because you wanted the whole crew to go. But I get what you're saying. Don't call me while I'm sitting in the house at 9 o'clock at night.
You reeled it right back in.
Fellas, I want to go hang out at the bar. Let's get this guy, this guy.
We already established niggas wasn't good at playing dates, yo.
Exactly.
Niggas trying to play dates, yo.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if I'm damn sure a terrible at planning dates with the opposite sex, I have no idea how to plan a date with the dudes. Like, no, that ain't happening. Ain't nothing homophobic about nothing we said. I'm just saying, like he said, it's a little weird. That scenario, of course, we've been there. First off, this the whole thing too. You playing ball or sport, whatever sport it is you playing, and you want to go to the restaurant to eat something afterwards. First off, guys, we cognizant that everybody might not be smelling the same. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you really not trying to go no place where it's possibly a lot of chicks there. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So you kind of want to go somewhere where it could be locker room-ish type thing. Maybe a Fridays, depending on what Friday it is too. Because you go to some of these popping joints, you like, I'm not walking in there. There's mad chicks in there. This, that, and the third. But fellowshipping is not planning a date, and women aren't planning dates, but they're just, oh, let's just go here. This cocktail, it's the spot in DC called Cocktails and something. It's a brunch, and it's pretty popular, and people been going to it or whatever. That's something that, first off, guys, don't call me, talk about let's go to a brunch. Yeah. Now, unless it's an event, and we meet, and I'm telling you, yo, lady, it boils down to this. Ladies' night out can include men, but it doesn't have to. Right. Guys' night out definitely has to include women. You can't have a guy's night out and women aren't included. Can you imagine? Have you ever gone out and have you ever gone out and seen women, like it's just the ladies' night out and they're dancing with each other? They're not even entertaining. But if you go someplace and they like, it's the fellas night out, and there's no girls around them, and girls are trying to dance with them, and they like, nah, we here with the fellas tonight. It ain't about that. I'm gonna be looking at them like, you might as well finish the sentence, brother, and be like, no, sister, it is all about the fellas tonight. We don't need y'all. Like, no. First of all, if I see that, I'm in the wrong club. Right. And I can upset that's for one. So.
Well, it's because men respect the hangout. We don't go out to hang out with fellas. You know what I mean? The fellas, we in the crib. Dudes be having poker nights, cigar night, like just regular, just hanging out. Throw something on the grill.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, guys respect the hangout, just the in the crib, cognac and cigars. You know what I mean? Just the fellas playing cards or something, just hanging out. Women don't respect that as much. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Women need an event to hang out with each other. They need to go out. They need to be out, have drinks, and have a corner in the club where it's just them and they. It's just that how they get down. I guess that's how they have fun. Men, we like to be in places where it's less pressure. You know what I mean? We don't have to support each other. We don't have to worry about nothing. We just can vent. We can be ourselves. We can be open and honest about what we thinking around each other. You know what I mean? We can be competitive. We can do all these things that men do within each other at the crib. You know what I mean? We could just be at the crib. You know, women don't really respect being at the crib. They need to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. So, another question that was posed. When a relationship is over, is it wrong for the family to stay in contact with the ex? This has got a lot of gray areas. This got a lot of gray areas because there's a lot of variables that can be included in why they're still staying in contact with the ex. I think years has a lot to play with it. Time has a lot to do with it. If there's a kid involved, it's first of all, that's almost impossible.
If it's a kid,
there's a kid involved. So I'm gonna take that off the table. Yeah. All bets off of the kids. So take the kids off the table. But just the relationships that were built, because a lot of times you can start off a relationship. We've all done it. Started off a relationship with somebody else through somebody else, and you and that person get to a closer level that has nothing to do with this person. Yeah. But this is the problem I think I have with that. Whatever your relationship is with that person, if that's your relationship, cool, go ahead. But you don't have to keep bringing it up to me. I don't need to know the ins and outs of your relationships. And you still need to respect what I got going on, because I don't need you. Well, that's almost telling somebody you can't talk behind my back and this, that, and the third. You can't control that. But it's like, yo, I don't really need to hear what the great things they got going on and what they're doing. That's my ex. They're not dead. They're alive. Cool. You going about your life. I'm going about my life. Now, the thing gets tricky when you start inviting them to events with the family and everything. And because honestly, if it's an ex relationship that wasn't amicably broken, it's always going to be something there. And you try to cut down on these kind of incidents happening.
It's tough. It's a level of awkwardness. It is tough. One of my exes was close with my family and my friends. Like, her friends was my friends. So when we broke up, and I came out here to Maryland, you know what I mean? She was probably hanging out with my friends more than I was. My friends back home, you know what I mean? So it was an awkward situation, but it becomes more awkward when you get somebody new. You see what I'm saying? And you get a girlfriend or something, and then she's still friends with your friends, or she's still moving with your people. You know what I mean? It becomes real awkward, and I think that in some ways the ex should fall back a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you don't be friends with these people or you don't care about the family anymore, but you do gotta, as the ex, you gotta make room for, you know, the new person. You know what I mean? Like, cause I was fly with her family. You see what I'm saying? And in some ways, you know, I had to fall back a little bit. I couldn't, you know, be present like I was before because, you know, she had got a new man. You see what I'm saying? So he got to have room to build those relationships, and he don't want me just there, the baggage there. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you can't. It becomes awkward. It was awkward for me. Like she was at my brother's wedding. You see what I'm saying? She was invited to the wedding. I was in the wedding. You see what I'm saying? It just gets a little awkward, but it was fine. We was done. You know what I mean? But I do think that you gotta kind of take a step. It comes to a point where you gotta kind of take a step back off of it. Like the friends is one thing, but the family stuff, like you gotta take a step back from the family, especially if they have a new relationship. Like you can't just be the reminder just there. Because if I'm trying to bring somebody else into this, getting serious with somebody else, and then I'm coming to introduce them to my family, you kind of can't be around. And vice versa too. I can't be around your family, even though I might still be cool with them, care about them, and you bringing another man into the fold. That's crazy. You know what I mean? For me, so I think that you do have to take a step back.
That's why it was crazy. That part of why did I get married too? Once they broke up, and when they was like,
and they went back on another trip with all of them,
and they went on another trip with all of them. First off, the dude Mike's character, you know, he was there as an antagonist, but it's just like, yo, I paid for it too, dog. Yo, you didn't even, you wildin'. You know they all married and stuff. That was crazy.
My cousins, yo, his ex-wife, she just be there, yo. I just don't know why, yo. She just be like It's crazy because she wasn't there like that much when they was like together.
Is it cultural though? And when I say that, in the African American community, do you see that a lot more? That ex is always in the situation, that family members are still close with the ex, or is that another race that does it?
I think I've seen that in too many movies, and it's the reason why I know we're talking about real life, but I think I've seen it in too many movies because most of these movies, when the white families are doing that, all the families are affluent. So it's like, okay, Brad over here is he's the Winstons or whatever, and our family has business with them, and we kind of want that. It's that whole keeping the money in, you know what I'm saying, in rotation. Like in rotation with the families and stuff. And just because y'all broke up, we still need to have relationships with that family and stuff. Now I see that in movies about white people a lot. Yeah, they've thrown some black movies out there with that kind of feel, but I've seen that a lot in movies. But the whole thing about a lot of the things are cultural, because when you see black people do certain things, I just don't like the fact that when black people, we do certain things or whatever, it's looked upon as, oh, they just doing it wrong. I'm like, no, in our culture, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like that. We're not judging nobody else's joint. But sometimes people are like, yo, we need to do it this way. That's why, and I'm that will talk. That's why it was a scene in that movie, Cool Runnings, that when they was like, because remember the Jamaican bobsled thing, let's do it like this. This is how Sweden does it. I hate it every time they say that. Because I'm looking like, yo, y'all are who y'all are. Stop doing it how they doing it. But we're marred by that. That's what we do as a culture.
Man, listen, I'm just talking for me and my family. people become family. You see what I'm saying? Like, my uncles' wives, my aunts' husbands, like, they my uncles and aunts. So when they get like divorced and stuff like that,
They still your uncle.
they still my uncles and not like they in the family. You see what I'm saying? So it becomes a weird place. You see, in a tricky place because in some instances, my uncle or my aunt may move on and get married again or something. And if they cultivate that relationship with our family, then they become part of the family too. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a weird thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's culturally or like in the black community, but I don't know, man. I just feel like, you know, my uncles in particular, like, yo, like my aunts is my aunts. And my uncle got married twice. Both of them are my aunts. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I love them like they're my aunts. You see what I'm saying? My other uncle, he never he got married once, but his first baby mom, like, she lived with us. Like, she always gonna be my family. You see what I'm saying? And then his ex-wife, she always gonna be my family too. Like, you know what I mean? So it is a weird place to be in, and it takes a lot of time and maturity. And both of them, in both instances, one party had to take a step back for a while to let the other party kind of marinate and see what that was going to do. But at the end of the day, as time went on and everybody matured and got older, you know, it's an understanding that everybody is just family now. You know what I mean? They become family. I don't know if that's just the black community. I don't know what other communities do, like the white community, Hispanic. I don't know what they do, but in my family, once you family, you family. You in there.
Yep. And with that said, because that's going to lead us into our next episode, because we're not over with this black culture, because we're here to strengthen that same black culture to us believing in what we do, and what we do is enough. And if somebody else doesn't like it, then oh well, we're talking to our community, and that's no disrespect to nobody else's culture. I'm Oshin, that's Willie Negro, that's GD Fitz. See y'all next week.
Peace.